Stanley Mitchell.
Good morning, Council. I'm Stan Mitchell, the numbers guy for the Samba Coalition, San Antonio Making Bureaucracies Accountable. I'm going to have to do some heavy editing because we anticipated a 9-minute opportunity. We have a 6-minute opportunity, so try to keep up with my speech. I want to thank Dr. Nivin for his clarifying presentation. He is responding in part to our coalition's August 11th letter to him describing the setting for his presentation today. I have a copy of our letter for your review. Our Nivin letter began by expressing appreciation for his academic specialty, cost-benefit analysis, which happens to be my focus as well. I wrote Dr. Nivin because I saw in his financial expertise and perspective from outside city government one who might settle long-standing financial issues I've raised as Samba's numbers guy, sharing with him 3 elements of corruption we hoped he might help us resolve. Saw's attorney, Steve Koseb, reported to the Regional L Planning Group a Vista Ridge project cost of $3.4 billion. You listening? $3.4 billion? News to you too, huh? And I bet it excludes the interest cost of the debt required to finance it, and so add another 60% over the life of the project to $5.4 billion. Dr. Nivin has been throwing around some very big numbers, and they are the product of compounding. You know what happens to savings if you let them sit there for 20 years? They tend to grow. So by putting a very small increment in and compounding it, you end up with some magnificent numbers at the end. What kind of compounding will we see relative to the Vista Ridge corruption? Then there was the city government's misrepresentation of the $850 million bond program. We've been over that repeatedly. We withheld the interest and issuance costs related to that. And then I included with the letter to Dr. Nivin a letter called, quote, "Our City Charter's Corrupt Environment," unquote, describes Mayor Nirenberg's illegal constituting of our Charter Review Commission, affecting the environment in which firefighter petitions will be processed. It also draws Dr. Nivin's St. Mary's University associate, Dr. Charles Cottrell, chair of the Ethics Subcommittee of the Charter Review Commission, into this political stew. Here are copies of my August 11th letter to Dr. Nivin. That's folder number 1. Getting back to cost-benefit analysis. Dr. Nivin parroted Christian Archer. Nikki Coons videoed Archer's July 16th claim that a Moody's alert had been received and he would make it public soon. Unless you can produce that document, Professor, Archer lied. There is no Moody's chart that threatens a rating reduction in response to the firefighter petitions, and there will not be one. I have here a January 13th, 2017 press release from the Department of Justice that assigns an $864 million settlement on Moody's because of their favorable rating of collateral debt obligations demonstrated their debt ratings could be bought, and were. The DOJ forced Moody's to commit to, quote, "new compliance measures, including its management of conflict of interest." As Nikki said, our city pays Moody's for their debt rating service. You know, that is a conflict of interest. Will Moody's risk another DOJ penalty by lobbying for their customer, San Antonio? Archer's your leader, Mr. Nivin, and you uncritically accept his leadership. What about San Antonio? You can do some research for me. What has our San Antonio experience been? I believe it was in 2006 that Fitch advised Ms. Scully of a pending rating downgrade because, quote, "the fund," unquote, was too low. Scully increased the fund with our tax money, buying a favorable rating. How big is the fund today? Good luck with your search. So bond ratings have been and are being bought. So when Mr. Archer used them as the gold standard for credit rating, he is very mistaken. Concerning benefits, if the firefighters had been petitions had been in place making city government accountable to the people, one, would the Vista Ridge project have been jammed down our throats by the SAWS utility monopoly, unregulated by our council, which the Texas PUC designated as the utilities regulators? 2, would he have been duped by an understatement of the city's $850 million bond project prior to the election at which the electorate cast uninformed ballots? 3, would he have remained powerless as Nuremberg manipulated the Charter Review Commission to extend his power, thereby disenfranchising our citizenry? The firefighter initiatives have benefits that far outweigh the costs Dr. Nivin has identified. Finally, Nivin is not an impartial expert witness from outside city government. Rather, he is city vendor number 100295333, approved for business research and other functions. The city is paying for his presentation while he advocates for the PAC, using our tax money to finance the insider's PAC. Recheck Revelation 32 attached to our Nivin letter.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell.